Welcome everybody to another market overview Wolves of Wealth edition. I am no risk, no premium, as always, accompanied by Mr. JG Banks himself. What is going on? What's happening, brother?
Hey man, what's going on? Excited for this week. Got a short week ahead of us.
Absolutely.
Long weekends always feel much longer when you're a trader.
Oh, yep.
But we're back here. Back here. It's gonna be Tuesday tomorrow. Market's gonna open back up. It's gonna be a good week.
Going to be a great week. Great week. Short weeks are notoriously bullish. Doesn't mean that we are going to go up, but they are notoriously bullish when you usually have like one of those holidays that falls on a Monday or Friday. Just putting that out there right now. Guys, start off here. Let's take a look at what we have economic data for this week. Obviously, today was Juneteenth. That's a market and bank holiday for the United States. So we had the market being closed. We did have the home builders index come out today. Tomorrow, housing starts. No huge pre-market data, and then nothing comes in. Like 15 or 30 minutes in. Usually, we get that little bit of data that causes a little bit of either slippage or popping in the market. That's always nice. I think Wednesday is going to be really interesting here. We got Federal Chair Powell will be testifying to the House panel. So he's going to get up on stage and they're going to absolutely grill him for about 2.5 hours. That starts 30 minutes in. Same thing on Thursday is going to happen, except he goes to the Senate and it's going to be the same thing. He's going to sit up there and they're going to grill him for 2.5 hours. Pretty much. It lasts a very long time. Okay. And the market moves pretty funny during that time. So if you wanted to maybe not be as attentive during that time and wait till he is done, that might be good. As always, I'm always going to say, guys, if there's a pitch coming down the middle, you should always swing for it, right? If you're set up, your trade and your trade plan is there, then do it. But if it's not, this time when he is in there, testifying and giving answers to the House and to the Senate on Wednesday and Thursday, and they're asking him these tough questions about the economy. They're asking about rates. They're asking about the Fed's balance sheet, liquidity, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It could spark some sort of little bits of sell, little bit of pushing higher. That's all I want to say. If you don't see that during that time he's testifying is not a time for you to force anything. You should never force anything, especially anytime Federal Chair Jerome Powell is speaking. I just want to make that very, very clear. But as usual, if there's a pitch coming down the middle, bitch, swing for it. Swing. It's what you practice for, right? It's what you practice for. So Wednesday and Thursday, huge. Fed Chair Powell has two testimonial, or I'm sorry, he testifies both days, is what I'm trying to say. And that will last like 2 hours, and you'll get really bored. The market could also just rock the lullaby like a baby all the way to sleep for a while. Who knows? We have no idea. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just the manufacturing flash services PMI. I'm sorry, services and manufacturing PMI come out on Friday. Jobless claims on Thursday before Powell as well. Existing home sales comes on right when Powell comes on in front of the Senate as well. So Tuesday, roll nothing burger here. Let's see what happens. Then obviously Wednesday starts, we get Powell. Thursday, we get jobless claims and Powell. And then Friday, we get the services manufacturing PMI. So no CPI, no FOMC, which is great, but we do have Powell talking twice. So you better fucking know that he's coming out to speak. All right, on to the charts here. On to the charts. Start with ES. That is the S&P 500 futures. For those of you that trade it or follow it, we're obviously on the September roll here. Okay, and we do have this major gap up, but let's zoom out here for just a quick second. Let's see what we are in a major. We are in a major uptrend. Okay, there's no doubt that we are in an uptrend. So that'll confuse some of you guys if it says yesterday high of the day. So look, we are in a major uptrend. We had some balance in this area in here, and now we've been trending up. So what are we going to be looking for? Okay, well, first things first, I want to come back and show why I have these couple of levels above. I think that was Friday's high that we got to. Okay. What day is this? Is because this was Friday here, right? 6/16. Then this was today's, because the futures, for you guys know, on holidays, futures still are open for like 2.5 hours, usually. or something like 4 hours. They're like a half day or something. I don't know why they just are. The rest of the market isn't, but the futures markets do. I don't get it, but it is what it is. I want to show you guys why this level here at basically where we topped out 43.95 all the way to 45.10. Why this is a massive, massive, massive level. Okay, last time we were here, this is called zooming out and looking left. Last time we were here, what happened? We dropped from here to make lows. You guys ever see that? We dropped from here to make lows. So getting up to this area up here, okay, we are also showing that we are pretty hot on the RSI. Now, I'm not just telling you to market opens, take puts. That's not what I'm saying. But look, the last time, and this is 3-year chart right here. Okay, this is a 3-year chart. Anytime on the daily that we did get overbought, okay, or even oversold, there are decent pushes down and pushes up. So we're up here again. Should we expect some sort of a pullback to happen? I'm not going to say the market's going to fucking sell off, but do we expect a pullback to happen? Absolutely, because that's what it's done every single time. And it's doing it now while we are up here at this major level, right? I'm not a new money long right here. This is not a long. I don't like this long up here. I would not be long. I would be long above that 45.09. Absolutely. Absolutely. Underneath it, I think you'd want to be looking for the pullbacks, So let's go down to the 1-hour chart because I think it looks a lot cleaner. Okay. Get it nice and okay. So look, under this 40-40, I think under 40-40, there's a short opportunity for 40 points down all the way to this 4,400. Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't want to be a short above that level. I wouldn't want to be a short above that level. So I need to break and hold 44.40, and we're going to come down and target 4,400, and then we're going to target 43.80. As you guys can see, there's a very nice double bottom off this area. So from here, 40.40, so 44.40, Jesus, 44.40. Okay. If we bounce, I'm looking for the bounce, to be honest, because look, this was some resistance. Now we broke through. Are we going to come back and test this? Probably. I look for an initial bounce. Now, if we break and hold underneath, I need a break below, and then I need a lower high, meaning a back test, a lower high intraday to show we're going to have continuation down. If we just break below and liquidity grab back up, and we're already back above 44.40, that's why I'm telling you, initially, I'm looking for the bounce. I need, in an uptrend, I need confirmation that we want to be risky and take downside trades. So for me, I personally want to see a break and hold with a lower high underneath, maybe a break below, and then a test back, and then continue down. That's what I need to see to have the downside trade. If not, I'm be looking at 44.40 for the bounce. So that's going to be a break and hold or a bounce level coming tomorrow. If it bounces, come back up here, and we're going to target this 44.70 all the way up to 44.85 and then 44.93 above. Like I said, lots of rejections in here, a little bit of supply, it looks like now. So I would think the same thing could possibly happen. That's why I think we need the break and hold. We need the break and hold over 44.93. Don't want to be a new money long into this supply area. I think that's a very risky trade. We are flirting with some highs. So you need the break and hold either over 44.93. Watch for the reject of the supply too. Okay, watch for the reject of this supply area up here as well. That's ES for you. SPY is going to look very, very similar. Why? Because SPY is just the cash ETF of the futures. Yes, right. This is the cash ETF equivalent of SPX. Okay, we got to turn these off for you guys so you guys don't get that. Okay, so look what we did. This is very similar to the ES chart here. We basically came back and had that back test, right? Remember right here on ES, I said I want to see if this. Sorry, I want to see. I don't know what just happened. Okay. What was that? All right. Everyone see my screen here? What the hell was that?
Yep.
Okay. You see how we had this wick up? That was that 439 touch we saw on the SPY chart. Here's that back test, right? So let's go back over here. SPY, we basically did it. 439 touch, back test here. So I can't get short unless 439 goes. Pretty simple. Can't get short unless 439 goes. Okay, I can't get long unless 444 breaks. Can't get long except 444 breaks. 448 is major, major, major level above. Remember it? Last time we dropped from here, 448 to 450, we went to lows from there. Right? We went way down. So do we not think that this would be a major, major level for a reject? Absolutely. Absolutely. So tough to be a new money long. I need to break and hold 444. It has 4 points upside to 448, 450. Okay, let me get down to the 1 hour. Looks cleaner. Okay. Break and hold below 439. I think you got 3 points of solid downside to 436 you could take, but there's a double bottom here at this 433. I would need to see a bounce here, or I would like to see a break and hold this level and we come back down and test the top of this balance area at 430. If the market wants to pull back, that's if it wants to pull back. If not, 439 is a bounce area tomorrow if it wants to hold that area. Okay, and we take it long. Target 444 above there, below 439. Break and hold, just like we said on ES. I want to break down, back test with a lower high intraday to take us down to this 436. Okay, down to 436. I would be looking for the bounce here. I would be looking for the bounce here at 434, 433.50, 434. Break and hold underneath that. This is PAL right here. This was PAL. This was PAL. Need the break and hold underneath there to target 430. I think because we had this little bit of balance in here, you guys remember we spent a little bit of time in here. Okay. Now the market is very balanced in here. It's created imbalances that want to come back down and touch this area. I think this would be a long opportunity here at 430 if we get under 433.50. Okay, get under 433.50. QQQ. Don't start. Oh, what the hell? Okay. QQQ. Hey, very similar. Excuse me. Very similar to the SPY chart, right? We had that breakout and we're holding. Now we're kind of balancing up in this area. So I'm going to need this break below this 368. If I want to get short, 368, nice 4 points of downside level here to 364. I need the break and hold under 368 though. Target 364. Bigger pullback, just like that SPY's just like 434. You can see 360 here. 360 here was a bounce, another bounce and up. So underneath 364, you could easily come down and see this 360. I would definitely like to take a long at 360 or even 357.50. Why? Because that was the top of this balance range. How many times? 1, 2, 3 top there. Okay, look at the bottom. We touched down over here at 4. This was just a bigger balance area than SPY had. Okay, and I wouldn't mind seeing a break under 360, maybe just a couple points lower for a big bounce opportunity in there on a healthy pullback. The market's been running like crazy. Pullbacks and uptrends are healthy. Pullbacks and uptrends are healthy, but I don't want to take this short. I don't want to take this short unless we break under 368 or we break under 364. I think 364 could be a bounce. 360 can definitely be a bounce. I would actually, matter of fact, like a long in this area, as long as you could throw a stop loss. 360, you could throw a stop loss, okay, at 357.50 if you want to buy some time on your contracts and maybe swing a bounce back long. Okay, tough to be long up here. Tough to be a new money long unless we break above 372, call it 373. Lots of overhead levels that are very strong. 375, 378, 380 above. If you zoom out right on the daily, right? Because we always want to see, zoom out, look left. What's been going on in this area over here? Well, we've got a lot of supply up here, no doubt, right? We had some support off this level, right? Then we broke it and we had rejections off it. This is supply here. This is supply at this 373.50 to 374. Okay, reject. Okay, so we can see it's very possible the same thing can happen in this area. And we had a very nice, decent down day bar on Friday with volume, right? With volume, we had a very decent down day. Okay, so that could show you we could be putting in a local top, but You really don't want to get short unless 368 goes target 364. Look for the bounce at 357.50 all the way to 360. I look for a bounce in this area. Okay, that's QQQ, pretty straightforward. IWM is building another balance area. Go figure. It's been doing that basically its whole life, it seems like, right? Since we started been talking about it and actually watching it. Actually, this looks a lot cleaner on the daily. Okay. Since we've been watching, you guys remember, it's spent 3 fucking months in here. Just balancing. So does it make sense that's just balancing? Once it broke out, went higher, flagged. We back tested the balance, went higher. Then we went right up to a where? Supply area. This was support, break, back test. Now we have an imbalance of supply. We came right back up into the supply, and now we are balancing again here. So the chart is really easy to see. We either break the top of the balance, right? See the double top there, or we break below the bottom of the balance. Okay, to show where the market could head. To me, I think showing this is a bullish setup pattern. We had 3 months consolidation, 3 months of balancing. I think we are just balancing up again for take the trade higher. I would think as long as 185 holds, we're going to test 189. We're going to test 189. 189 breaks and hold, 192, 196 above there. Okay, 192, 196 above there. Okay, underneath 184.50, really it is 184.50. We will see a back test more than likely. Okay, we will see a back test of 182 all the way to the top of this old balance range at 175.50. Okay, that was that back test we got on that daily. You guys saw when we finally broke out. There is a gap to fill all the way down here at 176. You can see it on the daily chart. Right, you can see it on the daily chart right here. You can see all of this huge gap. But I think as long as 185 holds, we will eventually get back up. Okay. We'll get back up to 189. 189 takes us to 192. Obviously, we can see up here at 195 all the way up to 200 is a lot of room for this to go if it wants to get some legs. Okay, so as long as we stay above 184.50, 185 on IWM, I think the broader markets will also see strength and continuing uptrend on them as well. If we do get the break under that 184.50, okay, look at 182 and then 179.50, 180 above or below there. Okay, you need that to hold. If we break back into this balance, that is no bueno. That is a failed breakout. That is not good, I would think, for the broader markets as well. We would likely come back down and then test the bottom of this balance that we had for 3 flipping months. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. I hope that helped, just looking at the cash ETFs and looking at ES. Justin, what do you have for us, brother?
What is going on? We got a question real quick. Which time frame do you establish and balance in price structure? So when it comes to trading, everything can be moved to whatever time frame you want. So supply and demand, support, resistance can be found 1 minute time frame all the way to a yearly time frame. Right. So but what you got to think about is, okay, bigger picture is going to be 1 hour and above. Smaller time frames, smaller picture is going to be underneath 1 hour.
Like you could easily see balance in just on smaller time frames, but you only want to do it for those, like only do those for
intraday.
The intraday. But for me, I like looking at 1 hour, 4 hour and above, because you get a really good, like, look how clear this is. Look how clear this is. Balance, break, hold, go. Very easy to see. So longer term, if you bought price here, okay, if you bought time here, right? Look how much higher this went. Off this balance, back test and go. We went from 430 to 444. That's 14 points upside if you would have just established on a larger time frame. Yes, your stops on 0 or 1 day options should absolutely be levels. Should absolutely be a level, not a percentage, because those options have a lot of volatility. Okay, and they move. They can swing 50% plus in a day. And the trade could still work out, but you could get stopped out, right? So do it as a level. Do it as a level.
And when it comes to levels, it's going to be different every single time. So it's hard to really explain like a full proof of it. This is the exact level. No, that level is going to be changed every single time.
Yep.
But you essentially think about it. If we're playing to the upside and it breaks down below this level, does it invalidate an upside move? Just think about that. So if we're playing the upside
Yep.
and if it breaks below this level, does it now invalidate an upside move?
Mhm.
And likewise, if you're playing to the downside, if it breaks above a level, does it now invalidate a downside move, right? So just think about that when you're playing with the level stop losses.
Yep. Well
Let me go
said.
ahead and share my screen real quick with you guys, and I'll get my awesome. So first on the list is going to be PayPal for you
Nice.
guys. PayPal, we've obviously been swinging it since around this area down here. We are swinging 80 calls for January. Those should be up pretty well. Probably going to take some profits this next week. But 67.20, someone asked, I have 67.15. Yes, I like 67.20. It's just a round number, but just do whatever. Don't worry about pennies. If it's 15, 20, it's pennies. Don't worry about it. If yours is 15, yours is 15, mine's 20, right? So 67.20, I'm looking for a break and hold over that. After that, I did need to go over to the daily time frame to get my levels here. I like this 69.50 level as my first stop here. 69.50 to 70. Why 70? You could say, well, there's really no level around 70. Here's a level right here around 70, but 70 is just a big psych level, right? Even numbers 70, 80, 90, 100 psych levels. So always think about a psych level in between levels, right? 69.50, 70. And then I have 71 up here and 72.50, as you can see right here at the top of this wick. 71 is going to be this nice support down here that they had right before we came up to the high and then the drop, right? So as you can see, when we're coming back up these levels, we're going to be some resistance zones. Well, I'm looking around here at 69.50, 70 for that psych level, and then around 71 and 72.50, which should be right here, right? So you can see the 71 is a pretty big one. We have one touch here, another touch, another touch, another touch, right? So 71 is probably going to be the biggest level here. But these are my levels to the upside. We have this nice imbalance here to fill all the way up to 71 and technically 72.50, and another little imbalance all the way up to about 75. I don't think PayPal is going anywhere. So this is a nice swing that we are holding on to. Tesla this week, looking very strong, even with the pullback, right? We're looking very strong coming into this week. So with Tesla, also had to pull out the daily chart. With Tesla, we could see we had this nice little flag out and a nice push up. So I'm looking for a break and hold of 265, break and hold of 265 here. My next level going to be 270. You could see there's some turbulence here. Nice resistance here around 270, also psych level. 275 up here. 284, around 284.50 is where I'm going to be looking at for my next level. After that, you can see there's also some resistance, support, resistance flip here. And then 290 as our big whole round number at the very top. You could say 289.50, but I'm just going to call it 290. So break and hold 265 up here would be the recent high. Looking for 270, 275, around 284.50, and then 290. Let me break it down. Sorry, let me go down to the 1 hour because we don't need to look at the daily. Right, we don't need to look at the daily because we're looking at more recent levels for the downside, right? It's gonna be an either or. We can either get strong this week or we can start to get weak, right? Market's a little overextended. So Tesla, if we do start to get weak, for the downside, I don't really like anything to the downside as far as taking it short unless we break this 247.50 level. So I don't like anything short unless we break this 247.50 level. In that case, after 247.50, 245, obviously that nice round cycle level. 242, as we can see here, this was a nice little bounce, which took us to our most recent high. So 242 is going to be a pretty big level. Why? Support took us to our most recent high. And then coming all the way down 240. And if we do get super weak, it'd be around 235. 255. But I am looking for a bounce first around this 252 to around 250 level. So 252 to 250 for this nice demand bounce first. And then all the way down to 247.50. I need to really see a break and hold of 247.50 again to get short. In that case, I'll look at 245, 242, 240, and then 235 to the downside. Next one on the list is going to be Spotify, right? Massive strength. I mean, insane strength. To be honest, this one, the levels that I have to the upside are just going to be nice round numbers because we have to look pretty far back. But for Spotify, I'm looking for this break and hold of 160. I like 160 break and hold to the upside. After that, I will be looking at 165, 168, and then all the way up to 170 right here. Last one on the, I am also watching on Spotify on the 1 hour this week. We have a nice little demand here, starting at 157 to 155, looking for a nice little pullback. We had the strength, so let's see if we get some pullback into this nice balance zone and then take it long as well. Last one on the list is going to be AMD, seeing some pretty weakness after this nice little double top here that we had. Looking for a break and hold below 115.50. So 115.50, looking for that nice break and hold here. So you can see that was a massive support area, which took us to the most recent high, right? This took us to the most recent high. Going to be 115.50, 116. So 116 to 115.50, looking for a bounce there first. Or if we do decide to get weak, we'll be looking for a break and hold of 115.50 to see 111 down to 110 there. And that is all I got for the watch.
All righty, guys. That's all we got for today. Okay, that's it. Now, hey, get yourself prepared. Okay, get your levels right. Of course, don't do anything stupid, and we'll see you guys bright and early at the pre-market huddle. Later.